A letter you cannot ignore. Why December 26th matters for Social Security recipients. If you receive Social Security, there is something extremely important heading to your mailbox. Starting December 26th, the Social Security Administration is mailing out an official document to nearly 75 million beneficiaries across the country. And this is not just another notice. This is not routine paperwork. This document directly affects your money, your benefits, and your financial future. Yet every year, millions of seniors either overlook it or worse, throw it away. That mistake can cost you real money. Whether you receive Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, survivor benefits, or even Social Security alongside VA benefits, this document applies to you, even if you never file taxes, even if you believe your income is too low to matter. This mailing is your official Social Security income record for the entire year. It is the same information Social Security sends directly to the IRS. If there is an error on this document and you don't catch it, you could face tax problems, benefit delays, or complications when applying for assistance programs. And there's another reason this matters right now. This document could play a critical role if the proposed $2,000 stimulus-style payment ever moves forward. Income verification is always part of these programs, and this form is the clearest proof of where you stand. In this video series, we'll explain exactly what this document is, why it matters, even if you don't file taxes, and what you must do the moment it arrives. Because when it comes to Social Security, being informed is how you protect yourself. What the SSA 1099 and SSA 1042S really are. Now that you know something important is coming in the mail, the next question is obvious. What exactly is this document? Starting December 26th, the Social Security Administration is mailing out official tax documents to every beneficiary. If you live in the United States, you will receive a form called SSA 1099. If you live outside the United States, you will receive SSA 1042S. Despite the names, this is not just a tax form. This document shows the exact total amount of money Social Security paid you during the year. Every monthly deposit, every adjustment, every back payment, it's all listed in one place. And here is the most important part. Social Security does not only send this document to you, they send the exact same information to the IRS. That means this form becomes your official income record in the eyes of the federal government. Many seniors immediately think, I don't file taxes, so this doesn't apply to me. That assumption is dangerous. Even if you never file a tax return, this document still matters. It can affect benefit eligibility, assistance programs, Medicare savings, and even how quickly you could receive future relief payments. This form is proof of income. It's used to verify what you receive, how much you receive, and whether you qualify for additional help. In short, this is not paperwork to ignore. It's documentation to protect yourself. In the next part, we'll talk about who absolutely must pay attention to this mailing, including retirees, SSDI recipients, SSI beneficiaries, survivors, and veterans, and why no one receiving Social Security is exempt. Who this document applies to. No Social Security recipient is exempt. One of the most dangerous misconceptions about this mailing is the belief that it only applies to certain people. Let's be very clear. If Social Security paid you even $1 during the year, this document applies to you. There are no exceptions. If you receive Social Security retirement benefits, this form is coming to you. That alone accounts for more than 50 million Americans. If you receive Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, you are included. Roughly 9 million disabled workers need to pay close attention to this mailing. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, you may assume this doesn't matter because SSI is generally not taxable. That assumption is incorrect. Even SSI recipients need this document as official proof of income. If you receive survivor benefits as a widow, widower, or child of a deceased worker, you are included. If you are a veteran receiving VA benefits and Social Security, this form is required for the Social Security portion of your income. And there is one group that must be especially careful. Anyone who received a lump sum payment or back pay due to changes like the Social Security Fairness Act must review this document closely. Those payments can trigger unexpected tax consequences if not handled properly. The bottom line is simple. This mailing is not optional information. It is not extra paperwork. It is the official record of what Social Security says it paid you. Ignoring it does not make it go away. In the next part, we'll explain 5 critical reasons why this document should never be thrown out and how overlooking it can create serious financial problems down the road. 5 reasons you must never throw this document away. At this point, the most important message to understand is simple. This is not a document you can afford to ignore. There are 5 critical reasons why throwing this Social Security form away could cause serious problems later on. First, this document is your official proof of income. It shows exactly how much Social Security paid you during the year. When government agencies, lenders, or assistance programs ask what you live on, this is the paper that answers that question. Second, the information on this form is also sent directly to the IRS. If there is an error, if it shows you received more money than you actually did, the IRS may expect taxes on income you never received. Catching mistakes early protects you from that headache. Third, this form is required for anyone who files a tax return. Even seniors who have never filed before may need to file in certain situations, such as receiving back pay, selling property, or taking large retirement withdrawals. Without this document, you cannot complete an accurate return. Fourth, many benefit programs rely on income verification. Housing assistance, food assistance, energy relief, Medicare savings programs, all of them may require proof of Social Security income. This document is often the fastest way to provide it. Fifth, and most important right now, this form could become essential if new relief payments, such as the widely discussed $2,000 proposal, require income verification. This single piece of paper can protect you, qualify you, and save you money. In the next part, we'll explain how this document connects directly to potential stimulus-style payments and why preparation matters even when nothing is guaranteed. How this document connects to the possible $2,000 payment. Now let's address the question many seniors are quietly asking. How does this Social Security document connect to the possible $2,000 payment everyone is talking about? First, it's important to be honest. There is no law passed yet guaranteeing a $2,000 payment. While the president and his advisors continue to mention it, nothing has been finalized. There is uncertainty, and anyone telling you otherwise is not being truthful. However, uncertainty does not mean you should be unprepared. Every major government payment program, stimulus checks, rebates, or dividend-style payments follows one basic rule. Eligibility is based on income, not on hype, not on headlines, on income. And when the government needs to verify income, they rely on official records. That is where this Social Security document becomes critical. Your SSA 1099 shows exactly how much you received from Social Security during the year. For most seniors, that number is well below any reasonable income threshold that would ever be set for a relief payment. This form becomes your proof. If lawmakers require income verification, or if filing a simple tax return becomes necessary to receive the payment, this document provides the accurate numbers needed to do it quickly and correctly. In past programs, seniors who were prepared received payments faster. Those who threw away paperwork often faced delays or missed out entirely. The key message is this: you don't need to assume the payment will happen, but you do need to be ready if it does. In the next part, we'll walk through exactly what to do the moment this document arrives in your mailbox, step by step, so nothing is missed. What to do the moment this letter arrives. When this Social Security document arrives in your mailbox, what you do next matters. Not later, not next month, right away. Step 1 is simple, but often overlooked. Open it immediately. Do not let it sit in a stack of mail. Do not assume it's unimportant. This is one of those documents that should never be ignored. Step 2, review the numbers carefully. Look at the total amount Social Security says it paid you during the year. Ask yourself a basic question. Does this number make sense? If you received about $1,500 a month, the annual total should be close to $18,000. If you received SSI, the number should reflect that level of income. If the amount looks clearly wrong, do not wait. Call Social Security and ask for clarification or correction. Small errors can turn into big problems if they're not addressed early. Step 3, store the document somewhere safe. Not, I'll deal with it later, safe. Actually safe. Keep it with other important papers like your birth certificate, insurance documents, or benefit letters. You may need this form months later for taxes, assistance programs, or income verification. Step 4, keep it for the entire year. even if you don't file taxes, even if nothing changes right away. This document can come back into play at any time. Preparation doesn't require panic. It requires attention. In the next part, we'll explain why this document is so important for tax purposes, even for seniors who believe they don't owe or file taxes at all. Why this document matters, even if you don't file taxes. One of the most common reactions seniors have when they hear the words tax document is this: I don't file taxes, so this doesn't apply to me. That belief is understandable, but it is also incorrect. Even if you have never filed a tax return in your life, this Social Security document still plays a critical role in your financial security. Here's why. This form is not just about taxes. It is about verification. It verifies your income for government programs, assistance agencies, lenders, and benefit offices. When someone asks, how much do you receive each month? This document provides an official answer backed by the federal government. Many seniors use this form to qualify for housing assistance, energy assistance programs, food benefits like SNAP Medicare savings programs, extra help with prescription drug costs. In all of these situations, income matters, but filing a tax return does not. This document is often the easiest and fastest way to prove eligibility. There is also another important scenario to consider. Even if you don't normally file taxes, that could change. Selling a home, withdrawing from a retirement account, receiving a lump sum back payment, or new relief legislation could all trigger a filing requirement. If that happens, this form becomes essential. Without it, you cannot accurately report Social Security income, even if you only need to file a simple return. So the key takeaway is this: filing taxes is optional for some seniors. Having documentation is not. In the next part, we'll focus on one group that needs to be especially careful: those who received lump sum payments or back pay, and explain why this document deserves extra attention in those cases. Lump sum payments and back pay, where problems often begin. There is one group of Social Security beneficiaries who must pay extra attention to this document: those who received lump sum payments or back pay. In recent years, changes such as the Social Security Fairness Act resulted in many beneficiaries receiving large one-time payments, sometimes $10,000, $20,000, or even $50,000 or more. While that money was earned and deserved, it can also create unexpected complications if not handled correctly. Here's why. When Social Security issues a lump sum payment, it is still reported as income for the year it was paid. That amount will appear clearly on your SSA 1099. For some seniors, this is the first time their reported income appears significantly higher than usual, and that sudden increase can trigger questions from the IRS, from tax preparers, or from assistance programs that review annual income. This does not automatically mean you owe taxes. It does not mean you did anything wrong, but it does mean you need to be aware. If you received a large back payment, reviewing this document carefully is essential. The numbers must be accurate, and depending on your overall income situation, you may want to speak with a tax professional to understand your options. The key mistake many people make is ignoring the form and dealing with consequences later. Preparation now prevents problems later. In the next part, we'll explain how this same document can become your strongest proof of income when applying for assistance programs, loans, or benefit reviews, and why keeping it accessible matters. Your proof of income: why this document protects you. One of the most overlooked roles of this Social Security document is also one of the most important. It is your proof of income. For many seniors, Social Security is the primary or only source of monthly income, and whenever income needs to be verified, this document becomes your strongest evidence. Think about real-life situations. If you apply for housing assistance, the agency will ask how much money you receive each year. If you apply for energy assistance or food benefits, they need proof of income. If you seek help through Medicare savings programs or extra help with prescription costs, income verification is required. In each of these cases, the SSA 1099 does the work for you. Instead of bank statements, explanations, or estimates, you can provide a single official document that clearly shows what you receive from Social Security. This also applies outside of government programs. If you're buying a car, renting an apartment, or working with a lender who asks about income, this form often satisfies the requirement quickly and without complications. Just as important, this document protects you if questions arise later. If someone challenges your eligibility for a program or claims your income was higher than reported, this form becomes your defense. It shows exactly what Social Security paid and nothing more. That's why keeping it safe and accessible matters. In the next part, we'll talk about how and where you can access this document, including online options, and why checking it electronically can sometimes be faster than waiting for the mail. How to access your SSA 1099, mail versus online accounts. When it comes to this Social Security document, there are two official ways you can receive it. Understanding both options gives you more control. The first option is traditional mail. Starting December 26th, the Social Security Administration begins mailing paper copies of the SSA 1099 to beneficiaries across the country. For most people, this letter arrives sometime in early January. If you receive the paper version, that is perfectly acceptable. It is an official document and carries the same weight as any digital copy. The second option is online access. If you have created a My Social Security account on the official Social Security website, you can usually access your SSA 1099 electronically, often before the paper version arrives. This can be helpful if you need the document quickly or if you want to verify your income without waiting on the mail. However, there is an important warning. Scammers often try to imitate Social Security websites or send fake emails claiming you can download your form. The Social Security Administration will never email you a direct link asking for personal information. Always access your account by typing the official website address directly into your browser. Whether you receive your form by mail or online, the rules remain the same. Review it carefully, verify the numbers, and store it safely. In the next part, we'll talk about how long you should keep this document and why throwing it away too soon can create problems months later. How long to keep this document and where to store it safely. Once you've opened and reviewed your Social Security document, the next question is simple. How long do I need to keep this? The answer is longer than most people expect. You should keep your SSA 1099 for the entire year, and in many cases, even longer. This is not something to glance at in January and throw away in February. Here's why. Income questions don't only come up during tax season. They can appear at any time when applying for assistance, responding to a benefit review, or preparing documents for a new program that wasn't even announced yet. If this document is misplaced, replacing it can take time and create unnecessary stress. So, where should it go? Keep it with your most important personal documents. That might be a filing cabinet, a secure drawer, a folder with insurance paperwork, or wherever you store records like birth certificates, benefit letters, or Medicare information. The location doesn't matter as much as one thing. You know exactly where it is. If you receive the document electronically, consider printing a copy or saving it securely with other financial records. Digital access is convenient, but having a backup can be helpful if you need it quickly. This document represents your income, your eligibility, and your protection. In the next part, we'll talk about what not to do, common mistakes seniors make with this form, and how avoiding them can save you from unnecessary problems later. Common mistakes that can cost seniors time and money. When it comes to this Social Security document, the biggest problems usually don't come from complicated rules. They come from simple mistakes. One of the most common mistakes is throwing the document away without opening it. Many seniors see the word tax and assume it doesn't apply to them. Unfortunately, that assumption can lead to missed benefits, delayed assistance, or unnecessary stress later. Another mistake is not checking the numbers. Most of the time, Social Security records are accurate, but not always. If the amount listed is higher than what you actually received, the IRS may assume you owe taxes on money you never got. Catching an error early is far easier than fixing it months later. A third mistake is losing the document. Seniors often set it aside with the intention of dealing with it later, only to forget where it was placed. When income proof is suddenly required, panic sets in. Replacing the form takes time and effort that can be avoided. Another common issue is sharing the document carelessly. This form contains sensitive personal information. It should never be shared with unsolicited callers, emails, or anyone claiming they need it to process a payment. Social Security and the IRS will not contact you this way. Finally, some seniors assume that if nothing happens right away, the document no longer matters. That's rarely true. This paperwork can become relevant at any point during the year. In the next part, we'll step back and look at the bigger picture. Why staying informed and organized puts you in the best position, especially during times of uncertainty. Why preparation is your best financial protection. When it comes to Social Security and government benefits, one truth stands above all others. Preparation protects you. Most financial problems seniors face are not caused by sudden changes. They are caused by missing information, lost documents, or not being ready when rules shift. This Social Security mailing is a perfect example. On its own, it may look like just another piece of paperwork, but in reality, it puts you in control. It gives you clarity about your income. It gives you proof when questions arise, and it gives you a head start if new programs or payments are introduced. Uncertainty is part of the system. Rules change, requirements evolve, new proposals appear with little notice. But seniors who stay organized and informed are the ones who move through these changes with the least stress. They don't scramble for documents. They don't panic when asked for proof. They don't miss deadlines because they weren't ready. Instead, they respond calmly because they already have what they need. That is the real value of this document. It's not about fear. It's not about guessing what will happen next. It's about being prepared for any outcome. In the final part, we'll bring everything together and summarize what this mailing means, what seniors should remember, and how to move forward with confidence into the new year. The bottom line, what every Social Security recipient should remember. As we conclude this full breakdown, there is one message every Social Security recipient should take with them. This document is not optional. It is protection. The mailing that goes out starting December 26 is more than a form. It is your official income record. It is the same information Social Security provides to the IRS, and it is the document that can quietly determine how smoothly or how stressfully the next year unfolds. If you receive Social Security, SSDI, SSI, survivor benefits, or a combination of programs, this form represents your financial footprint in the system. It helps you verify your income, protect yourself from errors, qualify for assistance programs, respond quickly to benefit reviews, and stay prepared if new relief payments are introduced. The biggest mistake seniors make is assuming paperwork doesn't matter until there's a problem. By then, time is lost and options are limited. Preparedness changes that. When you open the document, review it, store it safely, and keep it accessible, you put yourself in control, no matter what comes next. There may or may not be a $2,000 payment. Rules may change, programs may expand or tighten, but seniors who are informed and organized don't get caught off guard. They respond calmly, they act confidently, and they protect what they've earned. That is the real takeaway. This is your income, this is your documentation, and staying informed is your strongest financial advantage moving forward.